Coming up on today's show, could the Seattle Seahawks sign veteran three-time Pro Bowler David Bakhtiari, formerly of the Green Bay Packers? We got a lot to get to on that as the guys out in the desert have named the Seahawks one of the favorites to sign the Pro Bowl offensive lineman. We'll talk about that and more coming up in just a matter of moments. Tyler Jones here with you. Appreciate you joining us. Quick question. What is your confidence level in the Seahawks offensive line right now? Scale it for me 1 through 10. Let us know in the comments section, and we'll get started with today's show. Is help on the way for the Seattle Seahawks offensive line by way of David Bakhtiari? The Seahawks have been named one of the favorites to sign the free agent offensive lineman. That's according to Bet Online with their latest odds, going over some of the top free agents that are still available in free agency. We know the Seahawks have just under $9 million in cap space to spend, and we've talked about it for several weeks that we expect that cap space to be used. The Seahawks will make one more move before the 2024 campaign begins. Here is the odds, courtesy of Bet Online. The Bears, the odds-on favorites at plus 500. The Ravens at plus 800. The Rams at plus 900. The Commanders at plus 1,000. And then there's the Seattle Seahawks at plus 1,200. The Steelers at plus 2,200. The Bengals at plus 2,500. Along with the Bucs at plus 2,500 as well. This is about where I expected the Seahawks would be in that circumstance when it comes to potentially signing him. As you look at where they stack up amongst those teams at this point in time, the Bears have more money to spend. The Ravens are more of a Super Bowl contender than the Seattle Seahawks are. The Rams, Commanders, Seahawks all close. But I would expect the Seahawks at least to make that phone call and give an effort and see if Bakhtiari is interested. No doubt about it. You bring in Bakhtiari to this Seahawks team, it would add great depth to this offensive line, which needs it. And I know when we look at this offensive line, we say, hey, you got Charles Cross at the left tackle spot, but he's got a lot to prove this year. The left guard spot, Laken Tomlinson, we don't know what version we're going to get. Are we getting the 2021 Pro Bowl version or the guy that struggled with the Jets last year? At the center spot, how good is Olu going to be? That remains to be seen. Who's going to win the right tackle job? And how good will they be between Haynes and Bradford? And then at right tackle, is Abraham Lucas' knee going to hold up? And how is he going to look? All of that, big question marks across the board. Meanwhile, back to Bakhtiari. The 2023 fourth-round pick out of Colorado has had a very good career at this point. A two-time first-team All-Pro back in 2018 and in 2020. A three-time Pro Bowler in 2016, 2019, and in 2020. And this will be different for Bakhtiari as he'll be playing for a brand-new team this year. He's played his entire career in Lambeau with the Green Bay Packers. But we've seen the Seahawks over the years, from the likes of Mike Holmgren to Matt Hasselbeck and others, they've had a good track record of bringing in some former Packers as far as that goes. You look at the PFF numbers here for you. The statistics of what he did in the last kind of full season he played, as he missed most of 2023. You go back to 2022. In 596 snaps, he had an overall grade of 79.8, which is very good. His pass block grade was outstanding, and 87.8. Run block grade of 68.5, and got called for 5 penalties. So if he's healthy, he's a very good player to have on your team. Now, here's the thing about his injury history. He's missed a lot of time over the years. Missed 16 games in 2023. 6 games in 2022, 16 in 2021, and 4 games in 2020. So, if you bring him in, how much can you rely on him? That remains to be seen. Let's ask you, our pinned comment today, should the Seahawks sign David Bakhtiari? Type S for sign, P for pass. Weigh in the comments section. Let us know what you think. Seahawks Today continues to bring you nonstop Seattle Seahawks coverage you won't find anywhere else. With daily news and rumors, live shows twice a week. We'll have watch parties for every Seahawks game from the preseason all the way through the playoffs here on the channel. And on top of that, folks, anytime there's breaking news, if they sign a guy like Bakhtiari, we're going to bring you a video as quick as we can here on the channel. The latest happenings on your Seattle Seahawks right here on Seahawks Today, your Seahawks offseason headquarters. Subscribe now, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. Seattle's offensive line remains a concern for me, and it's going to be a concern all the way till the season begins. We will not know until we know, right? Until they actually take the football field. And signing a veteran like Bakhtiari would give me a peace of mind, if you will. I could somewhat breathe for a second, because at the very least, even if with the injury concerns, it would be another depth piece that would make you feel a lot better about this group. Here's where the offensive line stacks up right now. And no one on that offensive line, not a single one, can you say you have full confidence in that they are going to have a good year this year. That's the reality of it at this point. It's a tough pill to swallow, but that's a fact, Jack. And while I think the offensive line is in much better shape than it was a year ago, this group is still very much unproven right now. Bakhtiari is a veteran, 32 years old. He's not a spring chicken at this point in time. But even with that said, Seattle's in position. They can still sign another offensive lineman, and they can bring Bakhtiari into this group if he wants to be here and if they want him here. The price tag of all these left tackles in football right now is extremely high. I don't imagine, with Bakhtiari coming off the injuries and what he's done, that he is going to command that much. I think he's looking for a proven contract. It's not going to be like Laramie Tunsil, who's putting $25 million through his bong, right? It's not going to be even Garrett Bowles' money of $17 million. So you don't have to worry about that if you're the Seahawks. The silver lining is he is much cheaper by comparison to those other guys at his position. Now, as far as what is he looking for, what type of team does he want to play for? Well, he did an interview recently and said this. They're like, where are you going to play? Where do you want to play next? I want to play with the next Super Bowl MVP. So whoever the hell that's going to be, I better be with him. They'll ask, do you want to play with this player or that player? I just want to play with the next Super Bowl MVP. That's it. Now, Seahawks probably don't have the next Super Bowl MVP on their roster right now. If we're just going to be frank, we're going to be honest with you. But we keep it real around here on Seahawks Today. But while the Seahawks may not be a Super Bowl contender just yet, this team is ascending. They are on the up and up. And as I've said previously, it's a 2-year plan for Mike McDonald, right? This year, the number one goal is to get into the playoffs. If this team wins 9, 10, 11 games and makes the playoffs, it's a very successful year. Next year is when we expect this team to take a big step and compete for the NFC and potentially get to the Super Bowl. Bakhtiari, you sign now, see how things go, and then potentially he sticks around and we see if the Seahawks take that next step and become legit contenders in 2025. What team will Bakhtiari end up signing with? Will it be Seattle? Will it be somebody else? Get your predictions in the comment section. Let us know where you think David Bakhtiari is ultimately going to end up when it is all said and done. Appreciate you joining us. If you made it to the end of today's show, that means you are a Chat Sports Real One. Spam a Real One in the comment section, and we will see you next time right here on Seattle Seahawks.